Knowledge of sales skills helps you build confidence and self-assurance and is essential for success in selling light-duty vehicles. One of the most important of these skills is the ability to close a sale. A sale cannot be closed until the salesman has qualified his customer, determined the customer's buying interest, and has answered the customer's objections. We will assume that the salesman has gone through each of these steps of his presentation and is almost ready to close. The most effective way to close a sale is to ask for the order. Asking for the order is very often the difference between making a sale and losing a prospect. Of course, all salesmen know the principle of asking for the order. However, it's been found that most do not utilize the concept effectively. Why? The answer is fear. Typically, a salesman's reluctance may be,
"I'm just afraid that I'll mess it up if I keep pounding away at him."
Or,
"There is no smooth way to ask for the order. You can't just say, 'Will you give me the order?'"
And perhaps,
"Really, I'm afraid I'll turn him off if I ask him point blank for the order."
Sound familiar to you? Well, here are some facts. All three of these responses, and all others like them, are myths of the salesman. Most customers will not volunteer an order. The customer expects to be asked to buy. Why else would he be in the showroom? Sure, there's the fear of being turned down. That's only natural. Let me ask you, what if a customer does say no? You won't be physically injured. In fact, the only personal injuries that you can incur are hurt pride and the loss of income. A strong mental attitude can overcome fear. This attitude is a quality that separates the top salesman from the mediocre salesman. What constitutes a strong mental attitude toward sales? The first characteristic is dedication. You must be dedicated. Dedicated to your job and dedicated to the product which you're selling. You must have the firm belief that by selling the customer, you will benefit him. And in addition, you must honestly believe that international vehicles can sell themselves. If given a chance, the vehicles can. However, that chance depends upon you. Know your product completely, and remember to have confidence at all times. Confidence has a way of becoming contagious to your customer. When he has confidence in your product and in your company. Your knowledge of the product and his confidence in you will enable you to convincingly prove that the vehicle will benefit the prospect. The second factor contributing to a strong mental attitude is the practice of self-discipline. No other job demands as much self-discipline as selling. By discipline, we simply mean educating yourself to do your job the way you know it should be done. Adhering to proven sales techniques that you know will pay off. If you practice self-discipline, you'll have set your own goals and lived up to them. You'll have approached each sale systematically. You'll have researched your prospect's needs in advance. You'll have anticipated customer objections. And you'll have laid the groundwork for the close. This practice of discipline won't waste your time or your customers, and you will soon be performing this routine automatically. The third characteristic of a strong mental attitude is the ability to approach every sale with determination. Determination means to never let a sale that you've worked on go unasked for. Don't take a quick no as the final answer. Don't mistake a customer's hesitation to say yes with a lost sale. Keep in mind, the customer uses the word no for now, not forever. When he says no, he really means not right now. Dedication, discipline, and determination. 3 requirements for a strong mental attitude. But there's another factor which contributes to a strong mental attitude. Enthusiasm. You are eager to show the product because you believe it is better than any other. A spirited, enthused salesman makes for an enthused customer ready to listen to what you have to say. The projector will automatically stop. Go to your response booklet and work exercise number 1. When you have completed this exercise, restart the projector. The salesman in exercise number 1 is obviously dedicated to his profession. He has self-discipline since he has anticipated customer objections and laid the groundwork for the close. His determination to satisfy the customer and his enthusiasm for the product are also apparent in the confidence he shows. With a strong mental attitude such as his, he should soon be ready to close the sale. When is closing time? It can be any time after you have tailored your sales presentation to your customer's needs and answered all of his objections. No matter when it is, make your close and then stop talking. Anytime a customer indicates agreement, that's the time to close. Be aware of the prospect's reactions, like facial expressions, voice tones, or body movements. These may help you tell when a customer is ready to close. So therefore, what is the important thing to remember about closing a sale? The answer is ask. To close a sale, ask a closing question. No matter what technique you use in closing, always ask a closing question. Don't hint at a close. Ask a question that will get a positive answer. Remember, when you ask a question, an answer is required. An answer demands a decision, and a decision produces action. The two ways to close a sale are the direct approach and the indirect approach. The direct approach is very straightforward and businesslike. It illustrates a confidence in your sales presentation that entitles you to the order. You can be direct without using high-pressure tactics.
When do you want delivery of your travel all?
Will you okay the order if I can guarantee delivery by Wednesday?
Most customers expect a salesman to ask for the order as the logical climax to a sales presentation.
Now that I've proven that the Scout is for you, can I write up your order?
Will you let me have your signature? The sooner we get your order rolling, the quicker you can expect delivery.
Remember, the direct approach is effective when you are convinced that the prospect has no major questions or doubts. If you attempt a direct approach too soon, the customer may feel you are rushing him. If the prospect still seems undecided, an indirect technique would be more appropriate. One of these is the take-it-for-granted approach. This technique reflects your confidence. Using this approach, you assume from what already has transpired that a sale has been made, and you begin to settle such details as color, model, and delivery date.
Since all of your questions are answered, we might as well get your order going, and you can pick up your vehicle later this evening.
A second indirect approach is the your choice technique. Using this method, you give the customer a positive choice between two alternatives: a choice of model, color, delivery date, or perhaps the monthly payment. When the customer answers the question, he has essentially committed himself to an order. Either choice should be attractive to the customer, with his answer depending upon his personal preference.
You have just looked at the deluxe and custom models. Both are extremely popular. Which one of these travel-alls appeals to you most?
The point-by-point presentation is the third technique of the indirect approach. This should be used for those customers who don't like making major decisions. Using this technique, you're allowing the customer to reach the big decision through a series of smaller and much easier decisions.
Do you think you need the two-wheel drive or the four-wheel drive model? Personally, I believe the four-wheel drive would fit your needs best, since you're going to do some off-highway driving, and you plan to pull some heavy loads occasionally. Based on the type of driving you said you'd be doing, you would need a V8 engine, which would give you all the performance and power you need. And since your wife likes the comfort and appearance of the deluxe interior, I have a Scout in the lot that is just tailor-made for you.
Remember the indirect approaches. Take it for granted, your choice, point by point. What determines the correct approach? At times, your personality, the prospect's personality and attitude, the situation at closing time, or perhaps the amount of money involved. The situation at closing time is probably the most important. Some people want to be told to buy, while others come right out and tell you. Occasionally, someone will have decided on either an international scout, travel-all, or pickup before entering the showroom. He may know the vehicle fairly well and may have seen your competition's vehicles. You don't have to sell this prospect on international. He will usually give you an indication of what he wants on his, which tells you he wants to buy. No one closing approach will work every time for every case. The projector will automatically stop. Go to your response booklet and complete exercise number 2. When you have completed this exercise, restart the projector. The direct approach is suggested by the situation in exercise 2. Although the customer has not given any previous indication of his willingness, the fact that he is already thinking in terms of my pickup shows that he is practically sold. Ask him for the order. Now return to your response booklet and work exercise number 3. When you have completed it, restart the projector. The indirect approaches for closing a sale are take it for granted, your choice, and point by point. Now return to your response booklet and work exercise number 4. The situation in exercise 4 indicates that the salesman did not do a thorough job in his initial presentation and misjudged the timing for his direct approach. A point-by-point approach should now be presented. The salesman should go back over each feature to show how it applies to the customer's requirements and try to find out any other customer needs which may not have previously been brought out. Now return to your response booklet and work exercise number 5. The point-by-point technique, D, should enable a customer, such as the one described in the first situation, to reach a decision without feeling pressured. Now, you may not have the same answers given here, because not all experienced salesmen would use the same approach in each of the situations in this exercise. These suggested answers would apply to many such situations, but could be modified by a number of factors. In the second situation, the Your Choice approach, C, would allow the salesman to determine which type of vehicle the prospect really has in mind and how urgently it is needed. For the customer described in situation 3, use the Take It for Granted approach, B, but you still have some selling to do. It appears that only the financial details have to be worked out, but you should explore the customer's needs in more detail to determine if that pickup really meets his requirements. For the final situation, the direct approach, A, should be successful. Customers who need help in making up their minds need to be told when to buy. Now return to your response booklet and work exercise number 6. The correct approach to use for closing a sale depends upon the salesman's personality, the prospect's personality and attitude, the situation at closing time, and possibly the amount of money involved. What do you do if you fail to close? Try again. First, try to discover why you failed. Ask your prospect why he didn't buy to determine where you failed. And then build to the close again, but try another approach this time. Some sales still won't be closed. However, don't give up after a first refusal. Always keep the door open for another try on the same prospect at a later time. If you miss on a sale, call the prospect within a week. If the first follow-up doesn't work, call him again, perhaps a week or 2 later. If you did interest the customer but didn't close, it may be a good idea to visit his home and display the vehicle in his driveway and show it to the whole family. And don't forget to give them a demonstration drive. The demonstration is one of your most powerful closing tools. International vehicles will sell themselves, but you have to put the prospect behind the wheel of the particular vehicle which satisfies his requirements. If you have trouble with the prospect over money, you can quote him in terms of monthly payments. If he makes a choice, write up the order. If he wants to pay $1,800 and you want $2,520, talk in terms of $720 spread over a 3-year period, which is only $20 a month. If he still refuses, talk $500, or maybe 10% down and 8% for 48 months. Then, rewrite the order and submit a new offer to the sales manager. Keep on submitting new offers to the sales manager until you close. In effect, get the prospect used to signing his name on the bottom line. The good salesman with a strong mental attitude who is well versed in the use of these closing approaches will have little difficulty in matching each person who enters the showroom with the vehicle he needs. You should know, use, and become an expert in all of the approaches, practicing each until you are proficient. You'll get results. The sales and profits are the desired results. These are the only true comparative measurements that gauge your success. Everything we've said up to now is wasted unless you have confidence in yourself as a salesman. Remember, if you have any doubts about getting the order, your doubts are bound to show through. Expect success, not failure. Be prepared to sell, not to lose. Convince yourself before a prospect comes into the showroom that you will make a sale. Plan your close carefully and remember to close a sale. Ask a closing question. The order will be yours. When the order is yours, don't forget to say thanks and to follow up. To close a sale, ask for the order.